What's going on, guys and girls? It's Adrian from Draft Time, and I know I typically talk about daily fantasy sports, but today in this video I want to talk a little bit about your fantasy football league and how to dominate your buddies this upcoming season. Because for one, most leagues out there have some sort of a cash prize that you can easily win. But more importantly, guys in these leagues just talk so much shit and it's so annoying, and it's nice to shut them up for a little bit. So I'm going to teach you some tools and some strategies to help ensure that you draft the best possible team in your league, and you don't even have to be an expert. I can almost guarantee you that if you use some of these tools that I provide you with, that you will draft the team with the highest possible projection this upcoming season. So first of all, how do most people draft? Well, basically they'll do a couple of mock drafts before the actual draft, and then they just go off the pure ESPN or Yahoo rankings. And doing this is not ideal. Now, I'm not saying that ESPN or Yahoo's rankings are bad. I'm just saying that there's a lot of other factors that need to be considered, and there's no such thing as a one-size-catch-all set of rankings. So what factors should be considered when ranking players in your league? Well, the first and most obvious is how your league is scored. One of the most common differences between how different leagues score is some leagues will do 0 points per reception, some will do 0.5, which is my favorite, and then some leagues will do 1 point per reception. Some leagues do 6 points per passing touchdown, other leagues do 4 points per passing touchdown. So all of these things are very important when evaluating your players. For instance, if you're in a 0.5 or 1 PPR league, I would take Christian McCaffrey over Ezekiel Elliott. But if you're in a league that you get 0 points per reception, I would probably take Ezekiel before Christian McCaffrey. And later in this video, I'll show you a tool that we created that allows you to input your league scoring rules before it generates the player rankings. The second and most underlooked factor to consider in your rankings is how many teams are in your league. Now, it doesn't sound like this should matter, but it really does. I'm going to use an extreme example just to prove my point. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is ranked right around number 47 in most typical rankings. Now, if you were in a 2-person league, I would consider taking Patrick Mahomes with the first or second overall pick. So that's just an extreme example. But if you're in an 8 or a 10 or a 12-person league, it makes a difference. And I'll show you how to input that into our rankings tool as well. The third factor you need to consider in your rankings is your draft position, and I'll show you more on that later. But the most important thing to decide when you're evaluating players and who you want to draft at a specific spot is this: how much better is this player that I'm evaluating than the next best player at his position when it's my turn to draft in the next round? Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's suppose that I'm drafting in position 7 out of 10 in a snake draft, and I'm trying to decide between a tight end, wide receiver, and a running back. Now let's suppose that David Johnson is the best available running back, and he's projected to score 240 points this season. DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver available, and he's projected to score 261 points this season. And then Travis Kelce is the best tight end available, and he's projected to score 235 points this season. So it's a no-brainer. Let's choose DeAndre Hopkins because he's projected to score the most, right? Wrong. We have to compare these players to the players at their same positions that are going to be available when it's our turn to draft in the second round. So when it's our turn to draft in the second round, most likely James Conner is going to be available at running back, Tyreek Hill is probably going to be available at wide receiver, and Zach Ertz is probably going to be available at tight end. So David Johnson is only projected to score 2 points more than James Conner. Hopkins is only projected to score 5 points more than Tyreek Hill. But Travis Kelce is projected to score 31 points more than Zach Ertz. So you got to take Kelce with this pick. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can someone possibly calculate that and consider all these things in just 60 or 90 seconds, which is the time they give you to draft in most leagues? Well, no worries. We got a free tool for that. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So here's the tool that I was talking about earlier. This is our fantasy football draft kit, and you can access this tool by going to drafttime.com. This is the homepage, and then coming over here to NFL and choosing fantasy football draft kit. Okay, and this is a free tool. Anyone has access to this. So before you choose begin draft, you'll want to go ahead and change everything in these input fields to match your league. So right here where it says number of teams in league, you could put 12. If you have a 12-person league, you could leave it at 10 if you have a 10-person league, or you could change it to 8. For purposes of this example, we'll leave it at 10. For the draft position, that's whatever position you draft at in a snake draft. So we mentioned drafting at position 7 out of 10. So let's go ahead and change that to 7 for purposes of this example. And then down here under scoring, you're going to put all of your scoring rules into these input fields. So right now it's at 0.04 points per passing yard. That means you get 1 point for every 25 passing yards, which is pretty typical. So you could go ahead and change all these to match. Down here where you have receptions, right now it's at 0.5. You could change that to 1 or to 0 or leave it at 0.5. So you could customize all of that. You can also customize your roster. Right now you have 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, a defense, a kicker, and then 6 bench spots. Now the difference between a flex and a running back / wide receiver spot is a flex also includes tight ends. So some leagues don't have a flex spot, but they have a running back / wide receiver spot. So you could change that to reflect that. But now we're ready to begin the draft. So let's choose this option up here, begin draft. So what you want to do is you want to use this draft kit during your live draft, okay, so that it could follow along with your live draft as everyone else is drafting, okay? So I highly recommend doing a couple of mock drafts before you do this on your actual draft. So our draft position is the 7th overall pick. So let's just suppose that, you know, we're doing a draft and the first person chooses Saquon Barkley. Well, you come over here to Saquon Barkley and you lock him in. Next person chooses Ezekiel, you lock in Ezekiel, and then pretty much they follow suit. McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Le'Veon Bell. Let's just say the next person selects Devontae Adams because Melvin Gordon's having these contract issues. Now it's your turn to draft, okay? And our little draft kit is telling you that your suggested pick is Travis Kelce. So what you want to do is you want to choose Travis Kelce by choosing this little plus option right here. And that's going to put him into your lineup. Okay, so now he's in your lineup right here. And now it's round 1, pick 8. So now you're just going to keep following along by selecting these lock icons. So let's say the next person chooses Melvin Gordon, and then DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, David Johnson, Todd Gurley. Okay, now it's my turn again to pick, and this is telling us to pick Tyreek Hill. Okay, so we come over here to Tyreek Hill. Okay, we press this plus button. But I want to explain to you the science behind this. You see, it's choosing Tyreek Hill because he has the highest what we call DD score. And basically that means that Tyreek Hill is projected to score 36 points more than the next best wide receiver that's going to be available when it's our turn to draft again, which happens to be Adam Thielen, okay? So he's projected to score 36 points more than Adam Thielen. You see, these red rows indicate all the players that are probably going to get drafted before it's our turn to draft again, okay? So it knows that Tyreek Hill is the best option in this case. If you wanted to, though, you could actually come over here and organize the score from highest to lowest, and then you see Tyreek Hill is the best option. But if you look closer, you'll see that James Conner is next, and his score is 35.4, so it's not a significant difference. So if you wanted to, you could choose James Conner, and it wouldn't make that big of a difference. So really, it's up to you. So let's just suppose for this example, we choose James Conner because Tyreek Hill is kind of a lunatic. So let's hit this little plus button right here, and now we have James Conner on our roster. And now let's re-rank. So let's choose this little rank column, and we'll do it ascending. Okay, so now we could continue doing the draft. The next guy chooses Odell Beckham, then the next guy chooses Tyreek Hill, Antonio Brown, Joe Mixon, Juju Smith-Schuster, Keenan Allen, Dalvin Cook, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette, T.Y. Hilton, Amari Cooper, Zach Ertz. And now it's our turn to draft again. And now it's telling us to draft Patrick Mahomes, which is the right pick, but a lot of people wouldn't pick Patrick Mahomes in this situation. So we'll add Patrick Mahomes. Now we continue with the draft. Now I guarantee you at the end of the draft, if you follow this draft kit, this total right here, okay, will be higher than anyone else's total in your league. So when you're finished drafting, write down this total right here, okay, and then you can refresh this page. Okay, you can make sure the scoring rules and the roster rules are all the same. Okay, and then you could hit begin draft, and you could start inputting everyone else's team. Okay, so let's say this guy has Saquon, he has Odell Beckham, you know, maybe he has Julian Edelman. You know, keep doing that until you get his entire roster into here, and then you can see what his total is, and I guarantee you yours will be higher than everyone in the league. And I'm gonna do a mock draft right now just so I could show you. So I just completed my mock draft, and here's my team. I got Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley, Tariq Cohen, Antonio Brown, Robert Woods, Zach Ertz, Calvin Ridley, Bears D, Justin Tucker. All the other guys' teams, I went ahead and I added their teams to our little tool. So first of all, if you come over here and you look at my team, my projected total is 142.57. That is by far the highest projection out of any team in this league. This guy's projected 115. This guy is projected 128. This guy's projected 119. This guy's projected 129. He's actually the second best team. This guy's projected 121. This guy's projected 114. This guy's projected 120. This guy's projected 113. And then this last guy's projected 113. That's fantasy points per game. So mine by far is the highest because I use this tool and I knew which players to select at what positions. So anyways, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to us and to sign up for drafttime.com. And let me know if you have any questions about this draft kit.